In this video, we're diving deep into the world of old, dirty Lincoln wheat pennies, the ones you might overlook because of their age or condition. But trust me, what they lack in shine, they can make up for in value. From rare mint errors to key dates, you'll be shocked at how much these coins are really worth today in the collector's market. First up is the most expensive and uniquely fascinating United States Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1 cent, 1945 damage date without mint mark. Coin. A coin that is as much a story of survival as it is of rarity, given its unusual lamination damage and rusty condition. Despite this condition, this coin holds an impressive place in the collector's market, and auction houses are paying attention. To understand why this coin is so valued, we need to dive into its historical context. The 1945 Lincoln wheat cent was minted during the final year of World War II, a period when materials and resources were tightly rationed across the United States. During this era, pennies were still composed primarily of copper, specifically a bronze alloy containing 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc. But due to wartime constraints, the composition was carefully managed. While the 1943 penny was famously made from steel coated with zinc to conserve copper for the war effort, 1944 and 1945 pennies returned to the traditional bronze. The 1945 pennies production resumed in massive quantities, with the Philadelphia Mint alone striking millions. However, among this sea of common coins, there exists a very rare and prized variety, the 1945 damage date without a mint mark. Typically, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint do not bear a mint mark, which makes attribution somewhat straightforward. However, what makes this particular coin exceptional is the damage date, the numbers in the date showing signs of lamination, flaws, and rust damage. Lamination errors occur when the metal surface peels or flakes away, often due to impurities or mishandling during the striking or post-striking process. In this particular coin, the damage on the date is quite pronounced. Rather than being a detriment, for many collectors, this unique error condition actually heightens interest because it offers a rare glimpse into the minting process's vulnerabilities during that period. This error is combined with the coin's rusty condition, which is quite unusual for copper coins, as rust is typically associated with iron or steel. The reddish-brown toning and spotting give the coin a distinct character and rarity factor. This coin is cherished not only because of its place in the Lincoln wheat cent series, but also because damage date coins are exceedingly rare. While most coin collectors seek pristine, uncirculated specimens, the existence of error coins like this damaged date penny creates a fascinating niche market. Collectors who specialize in mint errors and damaged coins prize these specimens for their uniqueness. When it comes to mintage, the 1945 Lincoln wheat cent was struck in the hundreds of millions. Specifically, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1.2 billion coins in that year alone. This enormous mintage generally means most 1945 pennies are common and hold little premium over face value unless in exceptional condition. But here's where the damage date without a mint mark flips the narrative, because error coins from this era are incredibly rare, and those that survive with clear lamination damage yet still identifiable date markings can command exceptional prices. In today's auction market, the 1945 damage date without mint mark penny in rusty condition has garnered bids that climb well into the six figures, especially when presented with strong provenance or accompanying documentation from reputable grading services. It is not unheard of for such coins to sell for prices upward of $200,000, depending on the severity and clarity of the damage and the overall eye appeal of the coin. Collectors are drawn to these coins for several reasons. Firstly, The historical significance of the 1945 penny itself, representing America's transition from wartime to peace, is profound. Secondly, the rarity of an error coin with lamination. Damage that still retains a legible date makes it a crown jewel for error collectors. Thirdly, the coin's uniqueness creates a sense of exclusivity, as very few of these exist on the market. Furthermore, the rusty condition, while normally viewed as a negative, in this context adds a layer of intrigue and authenticity. It speaks to the coin's journey through decades of environmental exposure, surviving wars, economic shifts, and changing collecting trends. For many collectors, owning such a coin is owning a piece of history that tells a story beyond the usual shine and luster. It's worth noting that this coin is typically not graded as highly as pristine specimens, but in the error coin market, condition is sometimes secondary to rarity and uniqueness. Auction houses carefully vet these coins, and buyers often participate in fierce bidding wars fueled by passionate collectors who recognize the coin's historical and numismatic value. In summary, the 1945 damage date without mint mark Abraham Lincoln. Wheat penny, despite its lamination damage and rusty state, stands as one of the most expensive and collectible pennies in the United States series. Its blend of rarity, historical importance, and eye-catching error features make it a coveted prize, with auction prices exceeding $200,000, proving that in the world of coins, condition is important, but history and rarity often reign supreme. Now, moving on to our second featured coin, the 1939 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1-cent large date without mint mark coin, a true gem in uncirculated fine condition. This coin is another powerhouse in the world of Lincoln Wheat cents, renowned for its distinctive design features and scarce availability in high-grade examples. The 1939 Lincoln Wheat cent was struck during the pre-war era, a time when the United States was still recovering from the Great Depression but inching towards involvement in World War II. The coin represents a period of economic and social change and is prized for its classic, timeless design. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1939 wheat cent is the large date variety. In numismatics, large date and small date varieties refer to subtle differences in the size and style of the date numerals on the coin's obverse. The large date variety of 1939 is characterized by taller and wider digits, especially noticeable in the 3 and 9. This variety is significantly rarer than the more commonly encountered small date version, the mintage for the 1939 large date. Without mint mark penny is relatively modest compared to other Lincoln cents. While the Philadelphia Mint produced around 120 million Lincoln cents that year, the large date variety represents a smaller subset. This scarcity drives demand among collectors, particularly when found in higher grades, like uncirculated fine condition. What makes this coin so remarkable is the survival of examples in uncirculated fine condition, meaning the coin shows minimal signs of wear, retains most of its original mint luster, and has sharp details. Coins from the late 1930s and early 1940s often circulated heavily due to economic conditions, so high-grade specimens like this are few and far between. Collectors prize this particular coin because it blends rarity, condition, and historical interest into one package. Unlike error coins, this variety's appeal lies in its classic beauty and relative scarcity. It is a perfect coin for those who appreciate the elegance of early 20th century coinage and want a piece of history that remains almost untouched by time. In today's auction market, the 1939 large date without mint mark Lincoln wheat penny in uncirculated fine condition routinely commands prices in excess of $200,000. These figures reflect both collector demand and the coin's status as one of the highest graded, most desirable Lincoln wheat cents from this era. Additionally, The 1939 large date penny holds great appeal for both seasoned numismatists and new collectors alike, often serving as a centerpiece in collections focused on Lincoln wheat cents or key date pennies from the 20th century. Collectors also value the coin for its design nuances. For instance, the large date digits create a more dramatic visual impression, and the coin's overall strike quality tends to be superior to many small date examples, further enhancing desirability. The lack of a mint mark on the Philadelphia pieces adds a certain simplicity and purity to the coin's story. This absence makes the coin a benchmark for Lincoln wheat cents, a standard by which other dates and varieties are compared. The coin also reflects the skill and care of the Philadelphia Mint during a period when coin production was increasing but still meticulous in quality control. For collectors, owning a 1939 large date penny in uncirculated fine condition is akin to owning a near-pristine piece of America's past, a tangible connection to the era of Franklin D. Roosevelt's presidency, the looming war, and the resilience of the American people. In conclusion, the 1939 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1-cent large date without mint mark coin, especially in uncirculated fine condition, represents one of the pinnacles of Lincoln cent collecting. Its blend of rarity, striking design features, modest mintage, and exceptional market value makes it a cornerstone coin for serious collectors. With auction prices soaring well beyond $200,000, it remains one of the most valuable and sought-after pennies in the United States. Next up, the most expensive United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny, the 1956 large date without mint mark, in circulated condition. This coin is a marvel for several reasons, combining rarity, history, and striking design features. Despite being circulated, this 1956 large date penny without a mint mark is one of the most valuable wheat cents ever recorded, often fetching prices upwards of $200,000 in today's auction market. But what exactly makes this coin so special? Let's delve into it. The Abraham Lincoln Wheat Cent series was minted from 1909 to 1958, featuring the iconic image of Lincoln on the obverse and the famous wheat ears on the reverse. The 1956 penny is one of the last years in the Wheat Cent series, just before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial reverse design in 1959. The 1956 large date is particularly distinguished by its larger numerals in the date, compared to the more common small date version. Historically, the mid-1950s was a time when the United States was undergoing significant post-war economic growth. The penny, while a small denomination, was essential in everyday transactions. However, as coin production ramped up, some mint errors and varieties crept in, capturing collectors' eyes. The 1956 large date penny without a mint mark was produced only at the Philadelphia Mint. At this time, Philadelphia coins were typically minted without a mint mark. The large date variety was produced alongside a small date version, but the large date is rarer in circulation because the small date version was more prevalent. The mintage figures for the 1956 Philadelphia wheat cent were around 569 million coins, but the large date variety's actual survival rate, especially in higher grades, is far lower. Collectors prize this coin for the striking size difference in the date digits, especially the number 5 and 6, which are noticeably larger and more prominent than the small date variety. This subtle but distinct feature immediately catches the eye of a trained numismatist. One of the biggest reasons this coin commands such a high price is its scarcity in the market, particularly in decent circulated condition. While millions were produced, very few large date 1956 pennies without mint marks have survived in collectible grades. Furthermore, many of those that remain have damage, wear, or cleaning that diminishes their value. The coin's design itself is a masterpiece. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's profile, a design created by Victor David Brenner, which debuted in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Brenner's design revolutionized American coinage with its detailed realism and symbolism, and this artistry is fully displayed on the 1956 penny. The reverse shows two ears of wheat surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, a symbol of prosperity and growth, reflecting the agrarian roots of the country. Another fascinating aspect of this coin is its collector, interest in mint errors and die varieties. In the 1956 large date pennies, some collectors have noted die cracks and doubling on the date digits, which, when present, can significantly boost a coin's value. Coins with such die errors are especially rare and highly sought after by collectors looking to complete specialized Lincoln cent collections. Market-wise, recent auctions for well-preserved examples of the 1956 large date penny without mint mark have smashed previous price records. In circulated condition, prices have topped $200,000, demonstrating just how much collectors value this piece of numismatic history. The combination of its rarity, historical importance, and subtle but key design differences make it a must-have for advanced Lincoln cent collectors. Moreover, the coin's provenance is often a crucial factor. Many examples sold at auction have impeccable pedigrees, having been part of renowned collections and studied extensively by numismatic experts. This pedigree enhances trust and confidence in the coin's authenticity and grade, further driving auction prices. To summarize, the 1956 large date wheat penny without mint mark in circulated condition is not just a coin. It's a symbol of American heritage and the zeal of coin collecting. Its rarity, coupled with its distinct design and collector demand, results in a staggering market value, often exceeding $200,000 at auction. If you're lucky enough to come across one, you're holding a piece of history that is genuinely priceless to the right collector. Next up, the most expensive United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1, penny 1952, large date with D mint, mark in color, changed dirty condition. This coin is a rare gem in every sense of the word. The 1952 large date with the Denver D mint mark is another standout in the wheat penny series, renowned not only for its rarity, but also for its unique color changes and condition characteristics, which have become a hot topic in the numismatic community. To start with, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Cent was minted in both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver with the D mint mark. The Denver Mint produced approximately 569 million pennies that year. But the large date variety with a D mint mark is a much scarcer find, especially in collectible conditions. The large date variety for 1952 is identified by larger and more widely spaced digits, especially the 5 and 2, compared to the more common small date version. This difference may seem subtle to the untrained eye, but for collectors, it is a defining characteristic that can add significant value. Now, what makes this particular coin even more valuable and unique is its color change and dirty condition. Color changes in copper pennies typically occur due to chemical reactions on the coin's surface over time. This can be caused by exposure to moisture, acidic environments, or even accidental cleaning attempts. While in many cases such discoloration might lower a coin's value, in rare instances, unique color patinas are highly sought after by collectors for their aesthetic appeal and rarity. This 1952 large date D mint mark penny's unusual toning or color change has turned it into a one-of-a-kind collector's item. The darkened, dirty appearance tells a story, a testament to its journey through decades, surviving in circulation with a patina that only adds character rather than detracts. Collectors interested in coins with unique surfaces are willing to pay a premium for such examples. The natural toning or color change is considered desirable when it adds visual interest and distinguishes the coin from the vast majority of similarly dated pennies that have uniform coloring or cleaning damage. In terms of design, this 1952 penny features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with remarkable detail preserved even in circulated coins. The Denver mint mark D is located just below the date, which is part of the large date variety in this case. On the reverse, the iconic wheat ears frame the denomination and country name, highlighting the coin's heritage and symbolism. The mintage for the 1952 Denver wheat cent was quite large, yet the survival rate of the large date variety in good condition with this distinct color change is very low. This scarcity drives demand and value significantly. Moreover, the 1952 large date D penny has a few noted error varieties as well, including doubled dies and die cracks, though these are less commonly found than the 1956 large date errors. Collectors often seek out these variations for their rarity and uniqueness. In recent auctions, the 1952 large date with D mint mark in this unusual color-changed dirty condition has fetched prices over $200,000. This is not just because of its rarity, but because it appeals to a niche collector market fascinated by natural toning and historical circulation wear. The coin essentially serves as a time capsule, bearing the marks of its age and journey. Collectors appreciate that each coin's surface tells a unique story. The dirty appearance does not imply damage, but rather a form of natural aging that is sometimes preferable to cleaned or artificially polished coins, which often lose value. This natural coloration is valued for its authenticity and rarity. In summary, the 1952 large date wheat penny with the Denver D mint mark in the color-changed dirty condition is a rare and highly coveted coin. Its distinct date style, combined with a unique surface patina and scarcity in the market, creates a perfect storm for collectors, resulting in auction prices well over $200,000, whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your coin collection journey. These coins highlight how rarity, design nuances, historical context, and condition combine to create exceptional value. If you ever get a chance to see one of these coins in person or at auction, take a moment to appreciate the history and artistry they represent.